Bum 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 bum. The Peter Like Show. Bum 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 bum. I teach at a community college, and I think I don't need to tell you guys that schools in general, we're constantly on alert about the potential of school violence and bullying and anything that can incite any of that, right? We're constantly going through training. It gets frustrating, but at the same time, if it can prevent one incident, it's a good thing. And I noticed that I also was able to generalize a little bit of something that I learned from the training. So we're taught that if we see something, we should say something. But you know what? See something, say something, I find applies elsewhere in life, not just at a school violence kind of prevention issue or a security related issue. It really applies everywhere else. If you see something that could be done to improve the learning experience, you should say something. If you see something that is impeding your work, you should say something. If you see something that would improve your ability to do your job, you should say something. If you see something untoward happening to you, you should say something. What do I mean by that? So I'm very pleased that something that I attempted to negotiate at work. I didn't get it, but I attempted to negotiate it. I find I do really well. If I wish I could be eating at the dining halls at the school more often. Gives me an opportunity to network with other people, and if nothing else, just being able to say hello to a few people behind the counter or the other people in the cafeteria really brings a cheer to my day, right? And we all need that, right? I I some I hardly ever network with anybody outside of work, or at least that was the case a few months ago. So as I was negotiating my work for this semester, I explained to my boss that it would be nice to have some kind of a meal plan here so I can spend less time off campus and more time networking with the other instructors or getting to know the school a little bit more. I think I spun it in that kind of direction. And my boss, to my surprise, agreed with me. Unfortunately, it wasn't really in his power, but he agreed with me on a lot of these fronts. The other thing I did, and I'm really pleased at myself, is that at the dining hall, I often feel gypped for a very specific reason. What happens is that the dining hall consists of somebody behind the counter grabbing from 10 or 12 different items. Now, to their credit, they're very conscious about food allergies and not cross contaminating the items. I gotta give them an A plus for how they handle that. But a lot of times I go there, there might be 20 different items to select from, and there's only two or three, or at best four things that I want in there. And I get very little food, and I feel gypped. And one day, again, see something, say something, right? I decide to tell the because I didn't want to pin the fault on the people behind the counter. I said, what would be a good time to talk about some suggestions today? I actually want to face talk to somebody. I don't want to just write it down. And I got to talk to some of the management at the dining hall and explain my situation. And it didn't turn badly, let's put it that way. So that's good. Even though I was getting gypped by the portion sizes, I still found it worthwhile to go even before I complained. And the reason for that is I'm really only buying conversation with the people behind the counter, right? And that's how badly I really needed those couple of minutes of conversation every. I could only afford it once a week. I was hoping I could do it more like once a day or even twice a day, right? That's why I asked for the dining plan to see what my boss would say, but the school doesn't really do that, unfortunately. But I'm so glad I put it out there because my boss agreed with me. And you know what? I feel like I planted a seed out there. My boss now knows that I want to network with people, and hopefully there will be better opportunities to do that. Now, next semester is kind of tricky. My boss wants me to continue teaching at the campus in Apache Junction. There's something that I seriously dislike about it: the facilities. The building is very run down. The office I have can't even get a cell phone signal because of some materials or something like that. and it's very frustrating. I got to leave my cell phone outside of the office just so it will ring if anything comes up, and then there's nowhere to eat. I mean, we have a faculty lounge, but there's no sink in there to wash anything. One time, I really shouldn't have done this, but I was upset. I couldn't wash my Tupperware containers because the bathroom sink really sucks. So I took my Tupperware containers and threw them at the door of the dean's office. I don't know if he knows I'm the one who threw it there to kind of protest that there's nowhere to wash our dishes. And and the next day when I came back, the dishes were still in front of the dean's office, and he left a note saying he's sorry, facilities are working on it. I don't know if he knows I left it. I was really upset at a lot of things. The nowhere to wash my Tupperware was only the last straw that day. I should have been a little bit more diplomatic, but I gotta give him credit for being as diplomatic as he was, leaving a return note saying that he's sorry that the facilities are working on it. See something, say something, but say it in a positive way. Don't just throw your dirty laundry at somebody's door. This is the Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum.